Okay, I'm back from the break. I have apparently I have some blue milk from space. Although apparently on the camera it's black milk. So there you go. What are we gonna do tonight? Besides admire my free comic book day T-shirt, of course. Which, if you do have a friendly local game store, or in particular comic store, hopefully they'll get to participate in free comic book day or something similar. If the event itself isn't something that they can do, because look, let's be real, it may be 2024 and not 2023. But things are still kind of tight out there for local stores. Hopefully they continue to earn your business, your time and your attention and your friendship. So when you can, let them have it. Wait, let them have it. Doesn't sound right. You know what I mean. Anyway, tonight we are going to make 2 villains. Why 2? Well, I'm going to do the exercise one way, and then we're going to do it the other way. So it's both for demonstrative purposes and also to give us some more inspiration for the setting that we have created, for the story we're going to tell based on the characters that were made in our workshop. Step by step, one by one. It's usually the first Saturday in May, unless it's changed for some reason. So whenever that is. Free RPG Day, I want to say, is June, but I'll have to double check that too. I think I have a solicitation to pick up a free RPG Day kit. Oh, hi. Meow? All right, well, it's an official stream, everyone. Hi, ma'am. How you doing? Meow, you say. Okay, well. Here, you want to... Here, why don't you hang out up here? Come on, right up here. Oh, shoot. Have I had a tear... Have I had a tear in my shirt all day? Oh, my gosh. I mean, for the most part, I've just been... Ah! When did that happen? Oh, my goodness. That's all right. I was wearing a coat for the day anyway, but still. Well, I guess I'm going to have to turn this and, like... You know what? Maybe I could just, like... Let's make an opportunity. Like, I could just, like, tear the sleeves off and be, like, you know, metal rocker free comic book day guy. Although, you know, that's a little embarrassing, huh? What if I was walking around like that? Yeah. You don't judge me, though, do you? Nope. Yeah, that's true. It's definitely not tasteful, GMV. It's definitely not tasteful. Yep. For any of you who are new, ma'am, off the keyboard. Off the keyboard. Come on, you're better than this. Her name is Nisa. There's 2 cats that you'll generally see. One has they both have emotes through BTTV. So you can create your own Nisa up here. And if you don't want to include any, or if you want like 5 bellies to make her a long cat, you can. And then the other one, Raichi, is right there. And he's also the cat butt that you see in Cameo. Yep, there you go. So that's Nisa saying hi. Well, all right. She's monopolized the camera enough. Let's. You know what? This is a mood right here. This has been my last couple mornings because I've actually been up in the morning. Which, again, if any of you are new here, I don't usually do. But I'm rolling back the schedule, right? My start times and everything, so I can be a little bit better for a morning or afternoon person. Any old who, as they say in the Midwest, where I clearly am. Why don't we create a villain? Now, some of you may have been around for the past workshops, and if you remember who our characters are, if you remember aspects of the setting, excellent. Then you can, for sure, demonstrate that it's just a step-by-step easy process that it writes itself. In fact, I think Charlie, you put Iwi as an emote, IWI. It writes itself. Our story has written itself so far. We haven't languished, we haven't agonized, we haven't hit writer's block. The story has been telling itself. And it's been wonderful and creative and very organic. Organic like my hashtag not sponsored Sam's Club brand unsweetened vanilla flavored almond milk. Actually, I don't even know if it's organic, but all the same, you know what? I didn't have a not sponsored gag this night so far, so that'll be it. Anyway, I need some villain creation music. I need some plotting and planning, some scheming, some nefarious. Here we go. I like this track. It's called Dark Angel on Tabletop Audio. It's very moody and atmospheric. This is that kind of like edgy late 90s, early 2000, like broody Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines video game RPG kind of background music. It's it's great. This is going to be our villain music. All right. I need your all's help in creating a villain. So if you're playing along at home, then get your Dungeon Master's guides out. And if you don't have one, you can borrow one, or if you have a friendly local game store, give them to business and pick one up. There's a lot of great stuff in the DMG, even if you're just a player, especially if you're thinking about telling your own story sometime. So yeah, if you're playing along at home, we are going to jump over to page 74, because I would like to know who our adventure villain is going to be. And I'll tell you what, Charlie, as we're on 74 here together, I would like you to type !1D20. Now, this is a part of some broader charts. I'm not going to use all of these charts for this exercise, but if you read through it, the charts are going to produce a lot of fun stuff for you. But specifically for this exercise, I want an adventure villain. So yeah, Charlie, if you can, in chat, would you please type number 1, letter D is in doggo, and number 20. No spaces, just a series of characters. Yep, we are on page 74 of the Dungeon Master's Guide. All right, Charlie tells us number 11, a humanoid conqueror. A humanoid conqueror. All right. Now, hey, DMP, good to see you. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, it's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Blue Joy, since you went... Hey, Wispa? Wispa, if you want to participate in this as well, let me know. Just say hi in chat, so I know that you're here. Blue Joy, since you are getting your Damaga out, we're going to now go to page 94. All right, Wispa, you'll get a roll as well. DQ, I will ask for the next one, since you wanted to get the next one in, and then we'll go over to Wispa here. Blue Joy, since you're the first to go for your textbook in our lesson, I would like you to roll 1d8 in chat, please. Lands on a 6. Power. Now 1d4, please, Blue Joy. Yep. Yeah. On it like a bonnet. There we go. Lands on a 5. All right. Congratulations. You rolled a 5 on a d4. You can either re-roll or you can choose from the selection of 1, conquer a region or incite a rebellion, 2, seize control of an army, 3, become the power behind the throne, or 4, gain the favor of a ruler. Charlie, this is a magical place, and if you don't believe in magic, it won't happen. Getting back into minis, still don't have dedicated spot to paint, as my wife and I don't have a place yet still, but I've had the itch to paint for a while. Yeah, I did see you shared that, and I'm glad that you're able to get back into it. I hope you can find a place and get everything settled in, because I know how much you like painting. And when you get a chance too, with the experiment of the new setup you have, I would love to see that the minis that I sent out your way as well. I want to see the work you do on them. So yeah, you can choose or you can re-roll the 1d4, Blue Joy. Blue Joy says, number 4 jumps out at me because it leaves the possibility for an even bigger baddie. Okay. Gain the favor of a ruler. Now, the ruler of this place is a feared tyrant and an autocrat. So, our maybe not obvious at first villain is trying to gain the favor of the autocratic tyrant of this region. Excellent, DMP. Well, Charlie, if you have questions over it, then you're welcome to ask them in the workshop here. I don't want it to just be a lecture. I want this to be participatory and interactive. All right, now Demon Quiller is going to tell us how this humanoid conqueror is going to gain the favor of a ruler. And is going to do so, DQ, with a 1d20 roll. You need the 1 in there, my friend. Stops on a 16. And that one's just straight up it through stalking. So perhaps by stalking, maybe by getting info on insurgent groups or the good guys or something, That we have maybe, kind of like what Blue Joy talked about. It could lead to something greater. This would be maybe a Grima Wormtongue style character who, tries to gain the favor of Saruman. Could be. All right. Could be through wild shaping. You're absolutely correct, Charlie. Now, we have a newcomer here. It's Wispa. Wispa, I need to know what our villain's weakness is. And you can tell us that by typing exclamation point 1D as in doggo 8. No spaces. Exclamation point 1D8, Wispa. Wispa says 5. The villain is destroyed if it speaks its true name. Dungeon Master Painter, this is the Dungeon Master's Guide. Keeping it vanilla, keeping it basic, keeping it super accessible. We are in the Dungeon Master's Guide on page 96. Now, why is this an oof from you, Man Cheetah? Occupation and history. We're gonna skip this one. We will come back to it. We're gonna skip this for now, and you'll see why. Now, we are going to go to... we are going to go to the NPC builder. I think we need to go... Is that a little bit ahead? That's the setting. I think we're a little bit behind. All right, we're on page 89, of course, because I have the I have that right here for occupation and history. All right. Yeah, well, there you go. Trust your feelings. You know them to be true, Mancheetah. DMP. I need to know the appearance of this villain, and you can tell us that by typing exclamation point 1D20 in chat. Stops on a 15. Unusual hair. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's the setting. Prodigy, Ketic neutral, female mountain dwarf, battlemaster fighter, astronomer. Also with an unusual hair color. Huh. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's a trend. Maybe it's something local. Maybe there's an interesting connection to this NPC. Now, the distinction, I mean, a villain is an NPC character. Though, of course, there's a particular distinction for a villain. This, by being in the NPC exercise, is more indicative of someone who's not an antagonist, or I guess not a villain. But maybe she is? Wait, is this the person who's also the master of disguise? Dart thrower does have the ideal of retribution over something. Oh, wait a minute. These dwarves... The other dwarf is the master of disguise. Retribution and pain from the dwarves. I think because of the autocrat. Well, anyway, let's see where this goes from here. Mancheetah, would you please type exclamation point 2d6 to let us know our NPC's high ability and low ability? Yes, you are correct, DMP. Two and 5. Dexterity is our high ability, and wisdom is our low ability. Now, we don't have a score tied to them, and that's fine. This is for descriptive and role-playing purposes. Whether or not the highest score this character has is 24 or 12, because then if all the other scores are 8, then 12 is the highest. I'm not worried about the number. I just want to know that as we're presenting this character, we know that he or she is going to be dexterous, so lithe, agile, graceful, but also oblivious or absent-minded. All right, DMP, well, thank you for hanging out, saying hi, and participating in the workshop. All right, Hero Dragon, I need a 1d20 roll from you, please, to let us know a talent that our character has here, our villain. Stops on an 8. Great at one game. The Game of Thrones. Great at one game. And what is a particular mannerism that our villain has when presenting and role-playing with this character? Artemis Rose Moon. Would you roll 1d20 in chat? Oh no, Iron Chef Lord was never heard from again in the end. Iron Chef, do you want to get one roll in before you leave? Artemis tells us that this villain's mannerism frequently uses the wrong word. All right, real quick then, I'm going to go make a connection. Iron Chef, before you go, I need a 1d12 roll from you. And then G-Cants, I need a 2d6 roll from you. And while you are rolling those, I want to go back and take a look here. Wait a minute. This helpful NPC pirate also frequently uses the wrong word. Doesn't mean that, you know, that it is an alter ego, or we are presenting this character one way and will backstab the other way. However, in this workshop, we do let the story tell itself. So let's see what continues to happen. Or that's the clue that the party needs, Goblin of Gygaxanor. All right, the 1d12 lands on a 3. Blustering? We might have a Master of Disguise, but, We might also have a red herring to the actual villain. I guess we'll see. Who can you trust? Or is she imitating the villain, not knowing it's the villain, and getting caught up in something greater than herself? Dun dun dun. That's perfect for a young adult storyline. Useful knowledge. Villains and NPCs know anything you need them to know. I'm not worried about that for the sake of this exercise. And the ideal was 5 and 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a neutral ideal of 1 being balance. Next is our NPC bond. Shade Mage, hi. Oh, thank you very much for saying so, Shade Mage. Real quick, before you get going, Shade, can you drop a 1d10 in chat? Exclamation point 1d10, and let us know a bond that our villain has. Just exclamation point 1d10. You don't need the word roll. Lands on an 8. Protective of a valuable possession. And our flaw or our secret is going to be determined by... Oh, if you want to, it's Gcants, that would be exclamation point random epic no space if you wanted to try an epic adventure with your experience points, but that doesn't use your channel points. Let's see, who else is hanging out that hasn't gotten to roll yet? Hunter, are you still here, Hunter? And thank you for the happy affiliate anniversary. Hunter, are you here? Who else could be hanging out? Craigar, if you're here. Let's see. Oso left. Raven is lurking. Oh, there you go, Jacants. This is it. It all comes to this. Can you defeat the dreaded cultist leader? Only a 19 or greater can defeat it. You attack with advantage, adding a +6 modifier. It is worth 5,000 experience points if defeated. So you get to roll 2d20, keep the highest, and add 6. Half lurking? All right, Craigar. Exclamation point 1d12. Oh no, Jacants was slain by the cultist leader. Or maybe the cultist leader actually made a good point. He said, you know what? I want to be on the winning team. But let's presume that you were slain. We drag your body back to get a res. Though, of course, we are a poor adventuring party. We can't pay for the good stuff. The best we can find is kind of a shady reincarnation. So, Jacants, type exclamation point res, please. REZPLZ. And let's see what you come back as after being defeated by the cultist leader. You're dead, but not for long. When the spell ends, you arise to find yourself as a male tiefling fighter. Well, there you go, then. All right, so Craigar gets a 12 on the D12 roll. Foolhardy bravery. Something to prove. Charlie, the timer is still going. There's a global timer and there's a personal timer. Even if the command doesn't go off, it will reset your personal timer for that command. So you'll have to be patient for it. Now, the exercise is finished if you wanted it to be. Because what we've now developed is a template that can go on anyone that you might want to handpick. Well, that's part of the fun and the banter for the adventures, though, Jacants. Because it's all manual commands. I'd have to manually add the points and everything. We just have fun with the commands and make a little story out of it because it's an opportunity to practice storytelling and improv. So we could stop here and simply place this template on someone that we know we want. Maybe this is actually the other another sibling or another half, like another side of the NPC, who, you know, by day is the happy-go-lucky NPC that the party meets, but by night or something else, we get someone who's actually trying to gain favor with the autocrat, and is doing so by spying. This is an excellent prompt itself, though. What I do want to do now, let's take that next step. The story has written itself, and like I said, you could stop right here. What we have can fit onto any background, class and race combo that we could generate, or that you want to just assign it to. But we'll keep going with the process, and where it says occupation and history, then we'll fill in the other details, using our manual of player character golems here. So Charlie, why don't you get us going on this part again, like you started us off with the first? Please type exclamation point 1D100 in chat. Exclamation point 1D100. Rolls a 60. All right, so we have a male character. Jacance, will you please type exclamation point 1D9 in chat? Lands on a 5. A half elf. Ooh. These are all right. So the concept of a half elf. These are the people who are being in contention or oppressed by the autocrat. Ooh, all right. The story is writing itself. DQ, can I please have a 1D100 roll in chat? $59 is chaotic neutral. Chaotic neutral, male, half-elf. I'm not worried about the character's level, or if we're taking feats or ability score improvements. Those are details for some things, but I'm not worried about it for purposes of our exercise here. Mancheetah, I would like a 1D20 roll in chat, please. Lands on an 18. So this character's background is as an urchin. You want to come up and say hi to everyone? You can see the other cat if he jumps up. Hey, come on, jump up. Come on, you can do it. You've done it before. I'm twiddling my fingers. That's our signal. Come on. You just gonna paw at my knee? What are we doing? Come on. All right, or just not, I guess. All right. Who else do we have out there? Artemis Rose Moon. May I please have a 1D20 roll in chat? we're getting to know who our character is. How does our character impose himself on the world? Did I say 20? I mean 12. 1d12. Sorry if I said 1d20. Lands on a 12. We have a wizard. And in particular, which kind of wizard do we have? Artemis Rose Moon, I need a 1d8 roll, please. Lands on a 5. Evocation, or evocation if you prefer. And lastly, I need to know the age category of this villain. Let's see, who hasn't rolled in this part yet? Goblin of Gygaxanor, if you're here, may I please have a 1d100 roll from you? G-Can says evocation. I thought evocations were just like it's an online job. Is that it? Goblin of Gygaxanor, why? Because I need to know the age category. There we go. Stops on 66, middle-aged. Which is 30... actually, that's for Dragonborn. Let's go to half-elves, who are longer-lived. Let's see, plus 1d 41 years. Tell you what, Goblin Guy Gaxanor, roll us 2d20 in chat, please. $19 and $19. All right then, so 38 years plus 77 is 85. We are 115 years old in our middle age. All right, and this tells us that we have a middle-aged, chaotic neutral, male half-elf evocation wizard who grew up as an urchin. And if this isn't rich storytelling soil for our... Oh, thank you, Manchita. I didn't know that offhand. So... Oh, actually, I'm going to bring up the... So we do have differences between our Master of Disguise pirate. So there could be a link. Now, as much as... Could there be a red herring? We have a Master of Disguise and we have a wizard who can use magical disguises. There might be a little inadvertent or purposeful mimicry going on, or otherwise this can create tension in the story. But we know that this humanoid conqueror wants to gain the favor of presumably the autocrat of this place, because the halflings conquered the half-elves, which we're describing as a people unto themselves. Think like the longer-lived humans in Tolkien's works, the Númenóreans. a half elf like that, where there are people unto themselves, not necessarily, one elf parent, one other parent. So we have someone who's in it for the long haul here, and is trying to ingratiate himself with the autocrat, probably making things tougher for people. And so maybe our pirate, kind of skulking around here, might see this person and try and mimic him, and might end up getting in trouble for it at some point in time in the story, or causes a mystery to arrive. Now, how does he fit in with our party? We don't have anyone who's an urchin, although we have someone who's close. Our Outlander tribal marauder was raised by, actually, I believe we changed kobolds to dwarves, given the role that dwarves were seemingly playing in our setting as the story continued to unfold for us. Being an Outlander is like an urchin, except you're more in the wilds than in an urban environment. So, also, we have our middle-aged gold dragonborn here. Now, he's not middle-aged at 115, but he's at a point in his life, pardon me, everyone. He is at a point in his life of maturity or outlook where these two, despite the chronological differences, might have some similarities, or where especially our Outlander might be able to get into the head of this villainous character a little bit more. What might be some other connections to this villain? If we have someone who wants to be ingratiated with the autocrat, therefore this crystal, therefore this city, let's see, through stalking. Stalking people means that you do learn about them. So probably not so much the researcher, but our gladiator and our pirate with a bad reputation would probably be known quantities because they have stories, active stories to them. Medusa Queen, hello. And Garaz Fire Axe, thank you for the happy affiliate anniversary message. I've been doing very well, thank you for asking. So we know we already have connections that we can approach members of the party along lines of thinking and maybe even morality, as people who are willing to do things to ingratiate themselves for power. We are already seeing bonds with the party members. They don't have to like this character, but there might be understandable traits which could complicate the emotions. Having a villain is, it's a little scary because you want to make sure. Oh, sorry, everyone. I had dinner before broadcasting, and so my body's like, yeah, we're going to reroute power to the digestion field or whatever. But how the villain is portrayed is such a huge part of any story told. Because ultimately the story is the villain's actions. It's just told from the point of view of the hero trying to catch up to the villain. And, sometimes you want I want people to hate this character. It's so overt. It's black and white. The villain wakes up, I'm a bad guy, and I do bad guy things. Meh. Though in many regards, the more compelling villains are the heroes of their own story. And so we might have someone who is doing these bad things, is turning over information on people planning a riot or a rebellion, because they're already breaking out in the setting. Pardon me. They're already breaking out in the setting because of the plague. But this might even be a ploy where we have a villain doing... you know what, Overlord Chameleon? I don't know if you're still here. You said you were working on an anti-villain, which is someone who has a good idea but is doing it the wrong way. We might have someone here who, like other people, wants to depose the current villainous autocrat tyrant, but is doing it in a really bad way. Very self-serving, perhaps. And ultimately, if what's the phrase? If you kill someone, the world is not down a murderer, or something along those lines. And so we have this impulsive, neutral character who is probably willing to sacrifice others to fulfill his own plan, which is how it seems. But this works in beautifully with our setting and with everything. It's destitute and rundown. The urchin works with the setting. I think we have a very compelling character here that will work very well in the story that we're going to create.